Hello and welcome our viewers into a new episode of your show around Kuwait, where we shed the light on the most recent events and focusing more on the trending occasions. Of course, I'm your host Abdulatif Lernizi, and today I'm joined with my co-host Rita. Good evening, Rita.
Good evening, Abdul Latif. I'm really glad to be hosting with you again this evening.
Me too.
Of course, we have amazing subjects today, Abdul Latif. But in the beginning, dear viewers, good evening, of course. We have a lot of great subjects and information to be talking about. And I'm particularly excited about the first one, Abdul Latif, which is Students Shine in a French play at Khalid Saud Zayed School. I think that one's going to be great.
I think it must be lovely to have these types of play, trying to raise the awareness for our students, having these types of play and having more to know about the French culture and the French language. And I think it's really beautiful. And for the second topic, we also have play crafting unity. The Kuwait's artistic workshop unites the Gulf and Arab artists, the Arab artists with clay, and I think it's really remarkable, exchanging the experience and exchanging the thoughts and of course the love.
Absolutely right. I think we've all tried to play with clay, but it's great to be talking about it in a professional level, Abdul Latif.
Exactly.
And dear viewers, our third topic is going to be about the Conference for Inclusive Kuwait Supporting Persons with Disability. So again, this episode, we're going to be talking about inclusivity within our society, Abdul Latif, which is always a great thing. And it's always important to create awareness wherever and whenever we can.
It is heartwarming, and it is really lovely to talk about it, because here in Kuwait we have the most humanitarian government and also residents, because here on this topic also we will try to include them in our activities, in every type of it, and try to let them feel more and more included with us, and to give them more sustainable life with every aspect out of it. And of course, these are for the topics for today. Now we will jump to the first topic, talking more about it, but we have this report. So for you, our viewers, stay tuned and we'll be right back.
The play, The Miser, by the French writer Molière, is considered a significant piece from the Renaissance era. It has been performed several times in Kuwait, translated into Arabic. However, a unique presentation unfolded at Khalid Saud Zayed Secondary School, where the French language department showcased the play in its original language. Students of the school, despite not being fully acquainted with French, took on the challenge of performing the play, bringing it to life as it was first presented in France. This endeavor was made possible under the guidance of the school's secondary education supervisor, along with the head of the French language department. What makes this performance remarkable is not just the portrayal of a classic play, but the students' courage in embracing a foreign language and presenting it authentically. Their effort to convey the essence of the play in its original language adds a layer of cultural exchange and showcases the school's commitment to providing diverse and enriching experiences for its students. The staging of The Miser in French at Khalid Saud Zayed Secondary School became a testament to the students' enthusiasm for the arts and their willingness to step out of their linguistic comfort zones. Beyond the linguistic challenge, the play becomes a bridge connecting cultures, fostering appreciation for French literature and theater. This initiative not only highlights the school's dedication to a well-rounded education, but also emphasizes the students' determination to explore and embrace different facets of the world of performing arts.
We are back from this report, and we're going to dive into our first subject for this evening, which is about Khalid Saud Zayed Secondary School, of course with the stage where the French play The Miser by Molière took place, Abdul Latif. I think this was a really great play for one reason. Can you tell us about it?
I think it was really remarkable to have this play in a secondary school, trying to include our students with this play, where the audience can also have this remarkable experience about the French language. To have these types of experience at the heart of this unique performance were the students of the school who, despite being fully acquainted with the French, bravely embraced the challenge of presenting the miser. Their courage transformed the school into the theater where a classic French play come to life, echoing its origins in France. And I think it's really lovely, and it's heartwarming, if I can say it. It makes you feel warm to see our students as a secondary school, to let them perform encouragingly, and to let them perform in a great, in one of the most unique and one of the most elegant, as I call it, elegant languages, which is the French language. And I think it's really remarkable to let them have this work and have this play by a remarkable author as Molière, the miser. It's been known for a lot of people.
Exactly.
It's really heartwarming.
And I think it's really important to mention that usually these kind of plays are translated to Arabic and performed in Arabic, Abdul Latif. But it was absolutely amazing to see this initiative where they performed the entire play in French right here in Kuwait in middle school. And the producer, Hamad, our great producer, brought something to my attention, which is
really great,
they didn't even study French, you know?
So how did they do it? I don't know. Did they memorize the words? Because I think it's really unique. But they had a really unique performance, something extraordinary, if I want to say.
That's
right. I was surprised. Also, secondary, they don't study French. So how would they get it? I mean, we study French at high school, I think.
Do you remember anything though?
I don't remember anything because in high school I didn't study here. I studied in Saudi Arabia. So I didn't study all of it. I mean, half of it even in America.
Wow.
So having this experience from them, they didn't even got to study it, even though by a great author, a playwright. Also the miser. I thought for the beginning when I wrote the script, I didn't read all of it because I wanted to be spontaneous. My reaction when I discuss it and talk to you in our show around Kuwait with you, my colleague Rita, I wanted to be unique. So I didn't know that it was in French. So it's got to be remarkable because I also saw you surprised by I saw your reaction. You were a little bit surprised that they had to do it in French.
Definitely, and I was even more surprised that they had to do it in a language they never learned. I personally thought that they've been learning French for a few years and then took the step to perform actually in French. But I can tell you, as someone that studied a few languages and didn't end up even using them, or, you know, if you're not using a language on a daily basis,
you kind of lose it.
You lose it, you know, no matter how much you know about it, no matter how much you study it and how much you've gone into the language and, you know, gone deep into it, you still tend to not be able to use it.
I mean, sometimes you have to restudy the language itself. I mean, and this thing not comes up with only language. It actually comes up with every type of skill that you have on your life, on your journey. A lot of people, they play, a lot of people, I trained in ice skating. After 3 years, they come back to me, hey, coach, can you train me a little bit? I say, what happened?
Exactly.
Well, I cut off. I didn't play any longer, so I need to have some skills in hockey. I say, okay, you have the basics, but you lost the skills.
Yes.
You have to regain the skills. So go, remember your trainings, go get back to training. I don't have the time to train you one more time because sometimes you need to keep the skills with you. But this is not the topic for today.
Definitely.
The topic is we have a secondary school students performing a French language, one of the most difficult languages for me. After Chinese language, I think it's one of the most difficult.
I can tell you are pretty traumatized, Abdul Latif, by the French language. But of course, these students had amazing people backing them up. Of course, like the school's secondary education supervisor and the head of the French language team,
if I was there, and knowing that they are coaching, I would actually keep coaching them. I would actually cheering them up in a loud voice because it was a talent. It is a talent.
Of course.
And I think that we have to grow it even more.
Definitely. Yes. I can imagine that the French literature is hard as it is, of course, and that was able to like add, we can say, authenticity to it and a lot of realness to it. You know, when you're going to a play and it's in the actual authentic original language, it's very different than the translated version of it, Abdul Latif. And I think
always
it's really
using
great.
the origins, also always using the origins, what makes it even better.
Definitely. And another thing that made this really remarkable was the dedication of the students.
There has to be dedication. Yes.
Of course, because it's hard as it is to go on stage and perform. Of course, you know what stage fright is. It's real, it's not a joke, you know, and just I have seen the backstage of a theater and a play and the way the crew is and the entire team. There's a lot of lines to learn. And when people are doing it in their own language, it's pretty hard to remember all these lines, and it's months and months in preparation.
Yes.
So imagine if it's in a foreign language that you never even studied.
You never even studied, you don't know it. And while even that, you have to memorize a whole lines with it, and you have to get the whole experience within what you mentioned, and thank you for that, the stage of fright. So please, to the students' parents, I think have your sons and have your students to the school, try to grow this talent that they have, because it is a talent, and as you mentioned, it's not a joke. Yes, it's not a joke, and I think that they should have even more skills on this matter, because I don't think it's something easy. I mean, I think it's something serious that they have this talent. MashaAllah, I think it's really remarkable. But what makes this performance truly remarkable is not just the portrayal of the classic play, but the students' dedication to the presenting to its origin language.
That's right.
Their efforts to convey the essence of the miser in French add a layer of authenticity. Sorry about that. With the cultural exchange taking place within the school's walls. I mean, there was a cultural exchange.
Definitely.
There was an Arabic students performing in a French language that they never had from before, with a remarkable experience.
I think that really does show, Abdul Latif, the commitment to provide diversity here in Kuwait. I truly believe that Kuwait is a melting pot of cultures. You know, you can go out to a mall and meet someone from any country in the world.
You would welcome them with a really open arms. You would welcome everyone who comes from any other types of country. We are actually great hosts.
Definitely.
I should say that.
And let's not forget, I think that really does help with just having knowledge of different cultures, you know. You become more aware of whatever is happening all around the world, culturally, ethnically. So I think it's really amazing that a lot of schools are focusing on portraying this kind of information to the students. And we saw this today through this French play, Abdul Latif.
Yes, and as you mentioned, it was really beautiful. But I think that we should not stop. I mean, as if there is a play was successful in another language, in another whole culture, I wish that if the school and the organizers and the trainers for the students go to other schools or the schools itself and try to present and play even more plays with another cultures, with another languages. I know it's gonna be hard for the students, but let's try with other students. Give them a chance, give them a break, because let that stage make more history. It already made a history with this play by the miser and by the students, and I think that we should have even more plays with other traditions and cultures.
And I'm really glad that maybe parents were very supportive with their children. Of course, the students need that kind of support from their family, their parents, their friends, and their surroundings, because as we said, I think a million times during this segment, that this is not easy to be on stage and try to be linguistically correct, being aware of your movement and living a character that is not you. All of that together in a foreign language is really hard, especially if the play is from French literature.
Yes, you're actually right. It's when you mentioned one more time the foreign language, I think this is actually what makes it not easy. Is one of the reasons that they didn't use the language from before. So there is a talent with that. There is a talent behind it. So the family support definitely is there.
Definitely.
Okay? But what we need to do, what we should actually do, is all of us, we should support them, because they are not only the next generation, they are actually they're going to be the face of Kuwait in the future.
That's absolutely right.
Yes, so we need to have them more, we need to give them more encouragement, because for me personally, when I was at secondary school, I could not talk to 5 people by myself.
Definitely.
5 people standing I cannot talk to them. I'll
Exactly.
get a little bit afraid because at that time, you know, we're still young, we're still growing personality, we're still growing. So what having for these students to perform in multiple aspects, new for them,
Yes.
stage, language, a whole new people, a whole other new people also. I think it was really great experience that comes with it. So I
That's
think
right.
most of them going to be either TV presenters taking our places. I think that.
Definitely,
Yeah.
but I think we'll be very glad for them to be joining us, of course, as TV presenters, because as you said, maybe you and I and a lot of other students, when we were in school at a very young age, we had stage fright, social anxiety, and of course we were scared when it comes to public speaking.
Yes.
And that takes me back to the point where it's important for parents to support any theater classes or theater activities or even extracurriculum classes for their children, because it really does help them with all the things we're scared of that you and I mentioned at
Yes,
the leave.
yes, a lot of it. But what you said, what you mentioned is actually true. I mean, we need to take care more of that, and we have to have these aspects. I mean, they are the next generation. So let's try to take their skills, try to take their hobbies and their talents, grow it. I mean, we
Of
don't have
course.
nothing. We have nothing to lose, and they are our kids, our sons, our brothers. So we don't have nothing to lose. And with that, we conclude our first topic for today. We will jump on the second topic, but after this report. So for your viewers, stay tuned, and we will be right back.
The National Council for Culture, Arts, and Letters represented a collaborative workshop titled Clay Printing that took place in Kuwait's art spaces. This workshop served as a melting pot for some of the finest artists and potters from the Gulf and the Arab world, delving into the significance of the ancient art form of pottery. The workshop unfolded as a vibrant tapestry of creativity, where artists brought their unique perspectives to mold and shape clay into intricate pieces. Beyond being a mere exploration of clay, the event became a celebration of the shared passion for transforming earth into expressions of beauty. It emphasized the importance of preserving and cherishing the art of pottery, a craft that goes beyond geographical boundaries, connecting people through the joy of creation. On another inspiring note, a special workshop was led by the distinguished artist Dr. Maher Arakip. With his wealth of knowledge, Dr. Arakip guided participants through an artistic journey, adding a personal touch to an already enchanting event. This workshop not only imparted skills, but also fostered a sense of community, where every handprint told a story of cultural richness and shared creativity. In those art-filled halls, amidst the rhythmic sounds of clay being molded and the strokes of brushes on a canvas, a narrative unfolded. It was a story of artists coming together, sharing skills, and crafting more than just pottery. They were crafting connections. The echoes of laughter and the scent of fresh clay created an atmosphere where creativity wasn't just a concept, it was a living, breathing entity that brought people closer, making art a shared experience.
Welcome back, our viewers. We are delving into the second topic for today, where we have the Kuwait Art Space was a canvas where the National Council for Culture, Art and Literature orchestrated a collaborative workshop, a clay printing, as the artistic endeavors brought together the Gulf Arab world's finest artists and potters, transforming the space into a vibrant tapestry of creativity. And I think it's really
Definitely.
remarkable having these different artists and different talents from the GCC countries and also the Arab world, having them together to take and exchange the experience that they have
Definitely.
from this visual arts that can really please your eyes while you are looking at it.
any sort of exchange when it comes to information is really important. So just imagine if it's between great storytellers, of course, and people that are really into clay, professionals when it comes to this kind of visual art, Abdulatif. So I think this workshop wasn't only about clay, there was many meanings behind it. It was celebration of the ancient form of poetry, of course.
Actually,
Pottery, sorry,
right.
not
Yeah.
poetry, but
it's
honestly,
almost
art,
the same spelling.
exactly.
Yeah.
Very similar spelling, but very different
Different meaning.
meanings.
Very different
Completely.
meaning. There are a lot of
Poetry
people.
and pottery. I think
Yes.
I'm going to keep getting them mixed up this evening.
I mean,
Abdulatif.
can you imagine if I said to you, oh, well, I'm an artist, or I'm a poet, and another guy says I'm an artist in pottery or clay.
That's
I mean,
right.
you would think that they are the same. Well, they are definitely not.
Very different.
It's the same art. It's art, but it's an art you can hear, and there's an art you can see.
Very
So,
different.
Yeah.
That's
but the same
exactly
concept at the
right,
end.
Abdulatif. So I think it's a very great initiative, and
It was.
it's a great way to start playing with visual arts. When it comes to clay, it's something from the earth. I don't know if that has ever hit you before or you've made the connection.
Something, yeah.
So we're basically shaping something that's extremely natural, and it's not easy to do. Have you tried it, Abdulatif?
No. No,
No,
I'm bad. I'm bad at art. You heard it from the no itself.
No, yeah, honestly, that no said a lot. It made a world of difference for
Everything
me.
that includes with arts, it's actually away from me. But everything that's connected to sports, I'd love to take some experience with it. I'd love to try it. So with arts, no. I wish if I can go to these types of initiatives that have been
Yes.
set by the National Council for Art, Culture, Art and Literature, I think that I want to go there. I actually have people knows there and have these types of experience. But for me personally, I always wanted to be an artist.
Yes.
I want to be included at
Of
this
course.
community. But there is something, and sometimes I think that it's not for me. So it might be for another people. So for those who are artists, we have this remarkable initiatives that been set by the NCCAL, bringing
That's
artists from all over the GCC and Arab country, having to exchange these types of experience.
Yes.
Kuwait art culture, Saudi culture, other country, exchanging the experience and the culture. I think it's really remarkable.
That's so true. I think this really broke the geographical boundaries, Abdulatif. We were able to see a mix of artists from around the world and the GCC being able to exchange their talent and, of course, all the information they have about artistry and art. As you said, maybe you and I are not the best when it comes to art.
Even you? I didn't know that actually.
Not the best. You don't want to see the way I draw. Remember when we used to draw the sun in the corner as children?
I literally said that to the last episode with Abdulaziz.
That is literally the way I still draw.
I cannot even draw the bird coming, you know, the W, the bird coming from
Exactly.
far away. Even the bird, I made him like without hand or without head.
There's something wrong with it. I think we're not meant to
not for
be
us.
trying to paint or draw, but let's talk about something very important when it comes to art.
Which is?
Abdulatif, it's a really great way to de-stress. So if you're very stressed from having a long day, or you have anxiety, or even experiencing depression, unfortunately, of course, I hope no one is, just try to pick up a pen and paper or even some colors and try drawing or doing any form of art that you are personally comfortable with. You do end up de-stressing in a very
Actually, you're
weird
right.
way.
Yeah, actually you're right. But in the matter of clay, I think it's also a way of maybe distress your life. And as you
Definitely.
mentioned, and thank you, Rita, one more time. Thank you for mentioning that, because it was really important, and I think it's really necessary to mention that. But having these types of art, increasing the tradition and increasing more the awareness between the tourists who comes from whole another side of the world coming here, they should know what we do. I think that they have types of art with that connected to the clay, but not like ours.
Yes.
I mean, still to this day, we have some people who drinks water from jars that been made out of clay.
Definitely.
And it still tastes way better than any types of water filters or bottled water. Don't tell me where the water came from. It's never gonna be better than water that you put in a jar. It will always stay cold, even if it was like outside 60 degrees.
Wow.
So this from aside from our traditional culture, and we have always need to emphasize on it. We need always to try to grow it, and we have to pass it through the next generation, because I'm really afraid they are really into social media, into the Western and into also the Eastern culture.
Of course.
We need to hold and to grab a little more in our heritage and also culture. So this is an opportunity. Thank you, NCCIL.
Definitely, and I think you brought us to a point that I never thought of, that clay and maybe these classes could take us back to our heritage, our culture, and help us even teach our children. So I think it's really great that there have been a lot of studios in Kuwait popping up to do with clay and pottery. It allows you to go take classes and even to start practicing there with your family. And I think the best thing is when you're done with making that really hard cup or vase that took you a few hours in the workshop, to take it home and actually use it, right?
Yes, and yes, what you mentioned is actually true, and I think it's going to feel amazing.
Proud moment.
But it is. It's going to be a proud moment, especially when other members of the family use it. But what we need to mention also is that enter the realm of inspiration led by the distinguished artist Dr. Maher Raqib. His workshop was more than a lesson. It was an artistic journey where the participants not only acquired skills but also became a part of a community. Every stroke of the brush added a personal touch to an already enchanting event, and I think it was really remarkable. Thank you to Dr. Raqib on this remarkable initiative, on this remarkable event.
Definitely.
Yes.
Because I absolutely do believe that this workshop really became a hub for creativity and exchange of knowledge. I think it really did foster a sense of community, which brings us back to your point and this great connection that you made between clay and just the society as a whole. So I think with each handprint or even like brush stroke, there was a full story to be told and seen during that workshop.
Yes.
I think we should be taking some kind of the activities like that, Abdul Latif, and trying our artistic senses again, you know, giving them one more chance.
Yeah, but I'm afraid of the results.
We'll end up drawing a sun, so
no.
and leaving
if you do
the
that,
class.
you will be a genius. I mean, I'm afraid that all I'm gonna do, it's like just a long object, cricket, and maybe I think it's gonna be shower. I don't know how it's gonna be, but I think it's gonna be look like a disaster.
I think that's the
Because
beauty
I don't know how to
about art, Abdul Latif. If you think about it, that art is whatever maybe that's special to you, right? Whatever you come up with, that's what sets an artist from another.
Yes.
So maybe you'll come up with something very interesting.
Maybe
you never know.
With the skills, because I wish if I can have it like these types of talent, so I can, as this artist on the NCCL event, what they do is they try to transform the emotions that they have, the minds and the thoughts.
Yes.
Sometimes, if I want to describe something to you, Rita, as an artist, no matter if it was like a clay or a singer or a painter or any types of art. If I have something I wanted to say to you, sometimes, or not sometimes, mostly, you won't get the full idea or the feeling that I have. So what I would do, I paint it down. Or what I would do, I would shape it by clay. And any types of object that will send and have this message. And this is actually one of the things that was our second, and I think it was really amazing to have it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think it was absolutely amazing to learn about clay and to learn about maybe the history of clay and how we used to use it. I think that's great information that you gave us, Abdul Latif. And dear viewers, we're going to be going to airport and we're going to be coming back with our final topic for this evening.
In Kuwait University's Shidadiya area, a significant exhibition and conference centered around incorporating persons with disabilities for sustainable development goals. The overarching objective was to champion the causes of persons with disabilities, enhancing their lives and familial well-being through strengthened collaboration across government, legislative, private, and civil sectors. This comprehensive approach aimed to ensure the active representation of persons with disabilities and their families in various facets of societal development. A pivotal project discussed during the conference focused on developing and implementing a national policy tailored to persons with disabilities. Aligned with international conventions, this project emphasized integration in entertainment, community participation, healthcare, and the application of the Kuwaiti Code for easy accessibility. The ultimate goal was to eliminate barriers and construct an inclusive environment, facilitating the seamless integration of persons with disabilities into all aspects of daily life. The conference aimed to make life better for people with disabilities in Kuwait. They talked about creating new rules to help them join in entertainment, healthcare, and other parts of daily life more easily. The conference also wanted to change how people think about disabilities through the media and make sure that everyone, including those with disabilities, can have fun and get health support equally. The goal is to build a community where everyone can be part of things and live well.
Welcome back, our dear viewers, as we delve for the third topic for today. It's something really important, but more into the heartwarming and beautiful way that we are so glad we can talk about it, we can discuss, which is in Kuwait University Shidadiya area, a significant event unfolded, hosting an exhibition and conference on the theme of incorporating persons with disabilities for sustainable development goals. I mean, it's something really important that we should talk about.
That's
it's something
right.
because we need to include them more into the community. We need to include them more into our lives, because for the next generation, for our kids, they need to know that it's normal, and they need to know that they are brothers and sisters.
Of course.
So I'm really excited to hear what you are going to elaborate on this topic.
Definitely, Abdul Latif. I think just being in Kuwait, living in Kuwait, we have learned that humanity is more important than anything. And Kuwait really does focus on anything to do with the humanity or humanitarian causes, of course. And that is a big example of it. So the primary objective of this conference was to actually address and also support the challenges faced by people with disabilities or any kind of impairment.
Yes.
And I think you said something very special, is that we are all brothers and sisters no matter what our differences are, because we shouldn't look at disabilities like something that maybe impairs us or impairs other people. I think it's something very special and unique and helps us maybe come up with something different and new.
Yes. So what sets apart on this event from any other types of event or conferences? It's we will try to include them. No, we will try. I hope that we will do, because we will do.
Of course.
Inshallah, we will do it. Include them more into the sports, into the entertainment. Either it's going to be a sports, entertainment facilities. Try to let them be a part of it and the contests and the competitions, because it actually breaks my heart a little bit that we have different types of championships and also and also competitions apart from them. And I think that they should be included way more because they have even more potentials than a lot of people, a lot of normal persons that I know.
And Abdul Latif, as we discussed in previous episodes, you and I, that Abdul Rahman did this initiative that was actually, Abdul Rahman Al-Adwani, it was a great initiative where he took the Kuwaiti constitution and turned it into an audible material.
Because he cannot see. Exactly.
So and it really did help a lot of people, and I think it was a great innovation on his side.
Yes. And he was actually an essential element to the whole community itself, because what he did was actually remarkable, heartwarming, beautiful thing to do, having the constitution in audible form, so you can go to the Kuwait library and you can hear it for those who cannot see. Of course I think it was really remarkable. But even though the event itself was really successfully fostered the collaboration across the various sectors, including government, linguistic bodies, private enterprises, and also civil society, ensuring comprehensive representative for persons with disabilities and their families. I hope that we can go into on it really soon. I wish, and I think it's going to be really beautiful. And
that's right.
To the university, thank you. I think what you did was really remarkable.
Of course, and of course, would like to thank anyone that is really putting their efforts into just creating awareness when it comes to the subject. We want our families, our children, and the future generations to be very, we can say, understanding of anything they might see or meet, or any type of impairment they might get to know in a person, because as we said, that is maybe a superpower in a way, and it's not something that impairs a human. So I'd be very glad to see
Thank you to say that.
more people working out and about regardless of what their impairment is, because I think Kuwait is a no judgment zone when it comes to these kind of things.
Yes, and we need to mention something, that the conference is actually aiming to develop and implement a national policy specifically tailored for persons with disabilities. But we need to mention more into the entertainment, because a lot of people sees the capability and they see person with disabilities, limited capabilities. No, they are actually, some of them in shooting, even more talented than a lots of people. Some of them even in ice skating. And I need to mention something. In 2017, I trained. I was actually studying at the university. So it came to me to the Saudi players. They wanted to be on the Special Winter Olympics for the ice skating speed category. So with that, I trained them in 2017, and it was a remarkable event. We went to Austria, Prague, and we competed. We had 3 gold medals, 2 silver medals in ice skating speed. I trained them, but they ended up, right now, they are even faster than me. I mean, I have Fahad. He was actually my golden boy, and he did really remarkable on the event. So I think it was really remarkable to include them even more, and to have their own policies, try to even protect them, and to include them with also more protection for them.
Definitely, Abdulatif. I loved the story that you just mentioned, because it just shows you that with your help, you were able to maybe push them and teach them stuff, but now they have maybe gotten even better and better than you could have ever imagined. And there's a lesson in that for the both of us, right? That with determination, you can push through anything, no matter what your physical or even mental capabilities are, right? And of course, through this event, we saw the government in Kuwait, the public and private sectors supporting it there and helping us, of course, overcome these kind of challenges when it comes to inclusivity in our society here in Kuwait.
And of course, we have to cut a little bit of diversity in our community, and let all of the people be in one community, in one category. The difference will be only the ages. Okay, this is actually what we want. The difference is only the ages. And I think it's really remarkable what they did. But you mentioned something, is that there is the governmental support. The governmental support was always there, supporting them, always there. We have the most humanitarian government, and I think it was really beautiful to have that. And I wanted to say all of the thank you to the governmental entities who are responsible on that, being in the support, because we also have at this project and at this conference and forum that been set. I think it wasn't something new. We always saw it coming, because as humanitarians, we always in advance to any other country to have and to support all of the diversity, all of every part of the community.
Definitely, and I think that is also included in the New Kuwait Vision of 2035, which is complete inclusivity for anyone with disabilities in our community, society, and of course in the workforce. Even when it comes to the medical force and hospitals, it would be amazing if we're able to see people with impairment, persons with disabilities, of course, part of hospitals, working to help other individuals. I think that would be absolutely beautiful.
I think that I would be happy if a nurse was a person with disability nursing me. I think it would be really beautiful. And I think that I will be even more safe. Because I wouldn't even for a second think that, I don't want to be safe. No, you would be definitely safe, because as I trained a lot of them, as I worked with a lot of them, that they have really great potentials, really great fast and speed of learning in having these types of information, observing the information, training. So in as you mentioned, in the Ministry of Health, if they were like working on the future, inshallah, on the hospitals, I think we'd be lucky.
Of course, because think of it like that. Med school is legendary for being hard.
Yes.
A lot of people reach even the last year and drop out. So for someone to have impairments and have to do double or maybe even triple the effort that you and I might have to do, that means that they have determination way more than we do, honestly, for them to actually graduate, even with the difficulties that they have to experience, and they have to do extra work.
But they're up to it.
Exactly.
They have actually more endurance. You should know
Exactly.
that. Because as I mentioned for you at the start of the segments, where I trained the Down syndromes on the Special Olympic, they would actually had more endurance. MashaAllah. They would have more endurance than any other person that I trained from before.
Definitely.
So with that being said, I think that even mentally, they have even more endurance. They have more capabilities than a lot of people then think. So I don't think it's also about the potential that they can do, how much we can include them in the community. I think that we can include them to the unlimits. Okay. So but what I want is to see them working with my kids. I wish to see them like maybe training even my kids to work with them, to help them, because with that it would be even more magical to see this future, and I think it would be really bright for them.
Definitely, Abdulatif, and it's also important to mention that the conference outlined specific objectives, notably contributing to the realization of the New Kuwait Vision 2035, which of course does focus on the Kuwaiti law objectives and being able to have a very inclusive society, Abdulaziz.
Yes, Abdulatif.
Of course,
it's
Abdulatif.
Okay.
I think having both Abdulatif and Abdulaziz on the same show is becoming really hard for us to keep up.
You got used to be co-host with Abdulaziz. It's okay. It's the second time.
I've been co-hosting with him for a very long time, but of course I'm really enjoying having this kind of discussion with you this evening, Abdulatif, and you're amazing me with all the information that you have and everything.
Oh yes, because I love to have these types of experience from a different topics and different aspects of my life. I mean, I hate to have or to see a hobby or a different something in my life without having the knowledge out of it. But you mentioned something really interesting, which is the vision of 2035 Kuwait, and I think that it's got to be really beautiful to see them, inshallah, in a matter of 12 years working, and soon it's going to be like almost 11 years. So it's not that far away. I mean, 2012, it wasn't actually really far away from us, and it would happen with like a finger snap. So with that being said and mentioned, training, including them, it was really beautiful to have it and to set by Shaddadiyya Kuwait University and Shaddadiyya to have this conference, because it was really beautiful. And for them, thank you very much. And I wish that everything that we planned to, it would really come true.
I truly believe it would in a country like Kuwait, where we are given all the aid, of course, to overcome such challenges and to be able to stay on track with different visions. Of course, Abdulatif, we spoke about a lot of amazing topics for this evening. We ended with talking about disabilities and how we can overcome those challenges in society, of course, through this workshop. So
we have also the first topic for today. We need to mention it. Something amazing happened. We need to in conclusion, in a brief, we need to look at it in a aiming more at it, not taking it really fast, which is the students shine in a French play at Khalid Saud Al-Zaid school. It was secondary school.
Yes.
The miser between from the author and the writer Molière. So I think it was really remarkable. They didn't have the language. They don't speak French. Secondary school, which we actually study it at high school,
and we still cannot speak it or perform in it, to say the least.
How about I tell you, okay, Rita, go and play in France, go to the stage at the language you've never spoke to. You, even though you have maybe you have the stage fright and you are at secondary school. I mean, it will be something really amazing that they have this talent, and it was successfully wonderful.
Definitely, we're definitely jumping bridges when it comes to cultural differences and even linguistic differences.
Yes.
Abdul Latif, which I think is absolutely amazing. Of course, would like to congratulate them on
Yes.
this effort. They did a lot of work studying a new language, learning a script in a new language, and of course
Memorizing the whole script.
overcoming the
Yes.
stage fright at such a young age. They had to focus on a lot of things, which I think is a great lesson for all of us.
Yes.
And hopefully could inspire us to maybe learn another language, Abdul Latif.
Inshallah, but even though I would not perform a play with it. So for the
Definitely
second, yeah. So for the second topic, also we talked about the clay crafting unity. Kuwait Artistic Workshop unites the Gulf and Arab artists into a whole cultural exchange within the clay experience, the clay arts. It was a remarkable experience.
Yes.
It was a remarkable event by the National Council for Culture, Art and Literature. Thank you for them. And what do we have for the third topic?
So finally, our third topic was about the Conference for Inclusive Kuwait supporting persons with disability.
Where we just talked about.
Of course, and one of our most important topics for this evening, we're always going to be talking about inclusivity here on Around Kuwait and on KTV2 as a whole. And with that, dear viewers, we've come to the end of our episode for this evening. I hope you enjoyed it as much as Abdul Latif and I did. And thank you so much for hosting this evening, Abdul Latif.
Thank you, Rita, and I'm so glad to have you with me as co-host. I was so happy to discuss and to talk all about these topics with you. And for your dear viewers, remember, with every new episode, there's going to be new topics that we're going to talk about me and my co-host. So we will see you for tomorrow, and goodbye for now.